Thank you. Welcome to 2026, the year of the horse. I cannot tell you how much time and effort went into creating a golden horse running across the goldfields. But hats off to half the IT businesses in Western Australia. We are Golden Horse Minerals. We're an active explorer and we are a future gold developer. We are based in Southern Cross, which is about halfway out to Cal, and we have an incredible package of tenure. We've got 1,800 square kilometres and over 100 kilometres of strike on the Southern Cross Greenstone Belt. There's been more than 19 million ounces found in that belt to date. It has been established since the early 1900s, and this is the first time that a package of land like this has been put together in Southern Cross, and that's what we're going to talk about. It's the right moment. We are building towards an MRE, and when I say building towards that, we have an incredible budget this year. We've got $42 million in the bank, cash, and we are going to drill 125 kilometres of drilling into the assets and into this portfolio. We are 7 kilometres from town in our flagship project. You've got the main freeway that runs straight to Kalgoorlie through the middle of town. You've got the train line. I often joke we're a Taito workforce. We train in, train out. Which is fantastic for our guys, gets them off the road. Our main assets are sitting on mining leases. We have got historical mill sites on our land, which makes it a lot easier for us to get the approvals we need. We've got a great board, but more importantly, we've got really good operators and GOs in the team. There's a few out on the booth that are worth talking to. You know, Travis, John and Dino will be there. If you want to talk geology, you want to lick rocks, go and have a chat. You know, we are running a competition for the best horse pun, so go out there and throw some at them and see how you go. I think we have the right strategy. Why? You know, we're going to do 125 Ks of drilling this year. It's going to be enormous, and that's going to give us heaps and heaps of news flow, keep you guys interested in investing in what we're doing. It's 2026, it's the year of the horse. Get on the horse. I have mentioned we are fully funded. Key part of this slide, we're almost capped at 200 million at the moment. We do have 40 million of cash in the bank. Key things here, it's a bit small, but we do have Emerald Resources on our register at 20%. They've been strong supporters. We bought some assets off them and they've topped up in every raise. We use them, we use their GOs, and they provide great support to us as a junior company. Talking about support, we do have coverage from Euros, Shores, Canaccord and Petra. All those reports are on our website if you want to have a read and see what those guys think about the company and what we're doing. So what did we do last year? We've been listed now for 14 months. We started drilling in January last year. Last year we did 40 kilometres of drilling across our tenure, and a fair bit of that was focused on Hopes Hill, our flagship asset. What we have discovered, this is a 1.3 kilometre historic pit that was only mined down to about 50 metres. We have discovered that there is gold in them hills. Every hole we put down has hit mineralisation so far. That's 200 holes, all in mineralisation. Some of the big hits there you can see on the screen, you know, 60 at 2.5, we had a 40 at 4.5 and some others. And that's Hopes Hill. We also have 20 other regional targets which we've been systematically drilling. Hakes Find, we drilled at the start of last year. We're back there drilling now again. It had some nice little intercepts from surface, 10 at 4, 8 at 3. And you'll be seeing a bit more of that hopefully from this program. And then recently, towards the end of last year, we went and drilled up at Marionette. This was a huge anomaly, lit up like a Christmas tree when we did all the soils and mag assessments, and then we drilled it, and some of the holes we hit there, 10 at 6.8, 5 at 6. So great numbers, great opportunities, and we have this up and down this belt. We have 100 kilometres of strike on this greenstone belt, 1,800 square kilometres of tenure. So 2026, the year of the horse, get on the horse. You may hear that a few times, apologies. We are fully funded, again, which we've talked about, and we do have this enormous lick of tenure there, you can see. We're a little bit below Southern Cross, but we run all the way up that greenstone belt. What we're going to do this year, we're going to do more than 20 kilometres of diamond drilling, which is a huge program. We've now got two diamond rigs on site, and we're going to do over 100 kilometres of RC drilling. At Hopes Hill in that district, which is about a 6 kilometre strike, and then in the regional stuff, which I'm pretty excited about as well. But we're not just a one-trick pony. We're not just drilling holes. We are getting in front of everything we need to do. We've got flora and fauna underway. We're working closely on the heritage with our native title groups. And with all this diamond core we're doing, we're really starting some serious test work on our met, which I'll touch on. Dino did a lot of work looking at the history of Hopes Hill and what was there, which I can run through. But the key thing is they produced more than 200,000 ounces here to grade at 2.2 plus grams. It had a full CIL plant there. They had high recoveries. All our met test work suggested we're going to continue with those recoveries when we build our own mill, hopefully in the near future. It was established in 1895, which you can see there, and you're happy to read about the history if you'd like. So where are we? We're 7 kilometres north of town of Southern Cross, which we touched on. We have the historic pit, 1.3 kilometres, only mined down to 50 metres. And we have from there another 2.5 kilometres of strike where we're starting to light up with our soils, and now we're testing with the drill rig. Historically, there's almost no holes deeper than 50 metres in this tenure. There's some lovely little intercepts at surface and that's it. So we're stepping back and dropping down, and that's what we'll be looking at, extending this from 1.3 kilometre pit into a 2.5 kilometre pit. And that's the goal for 2026. So in the drilling, just to show you a little bit of a long section here, we are going to be focusing the diamond rigs going deeper under this old pit. We got some really big numbers, which you saw at the start, quite shallow. As we go deeper, we're seeing some higher grades. We did have a lovely intercept a couple of months ago there where we had 3 metres at 24, and they're the sort of numbers we're looking at. When we finish this enormous open pit, we'll be looking at an underground here because this mineralisation continues at depth, and from what we're seeing in our extensional drilling, it goes north and it goes south. It's probably worth noting, when this was previously mined, it was tenure constrained on the west, to the north and to the south. We have now, for the first time, put all these pieces together. There were 20 corporate transactions putting Golden Horse together, mums and dads, prospectors, small listed companies, and the penultimate deal with Emerald Resources to give us free run at this. We're drilling it from the west where it's never been drilled for, and we're hitting gold in every hole. Grade is king. We just put out a little announcement this morning. We have seen our first visible gold in our first diamond drill hole of 2026, the year of the horse. Get on the horse. It just flows off the tongue so well. We might all be saying it by the end of this. That was at 280 metres below the bottom of the historic pit. Okay, so as we go deeper, we're still seeing lovely mineralisation, and every hole we drill, we're understanding what's going on here a lot more. A little picture of our first bit of gold. It's enormous. You can almost see it there in that red circle and that arrow. But what's exciting is there's going to be plenty more of that. We didn't send that to the assay lab due to QA/QC. That's staying in the shed in Kalgoorlie. So if anyone wants to come to site when we do an investor tour, you can go and have a little peek at our first gold. There'll be plenty more to come. I did mention it's simple met. There was a CIL plant back there in the early 90s. Good recoveries. We did some bottle rolls, some simple testing on some chips last year, and we hit 95% plus on every sample. We'll be doing some more detailed test work this year as we move towards our first scoping study, and we're expecting the same results. We do have a few other little ponies in the stable queued up for drilling, which I touched on at the start. We've currently got a rig down at Hakes Find, just south of Southern Cross. It's just targeting shallow oxide down there. Good results from January last year, which I touched on. Then it's going up to one of my little babies, Marionette, at the top, which we drilled for the first time ever last year, and we hit those lovely numbers, 10 at 6.8, 5 at 5. We're going to drill that, we're going to step down, and we're going to go deeper. That was a 300-metre mineralised zone, and it'll make a lovely little pit one day. We do have, what's worth noting, we do have for the first time access to a little deposit we call paddocks. Yes, horse reference, and yes, it is in a paddock. It's a 750-metre strike. We're just finalising the access agreement, and it's got little or no drilling, so it'll be quite exciting as well in terms of news flow and keeping these rigs turning. Well, I'm running out of time, so I'll rip right to the end. We're the right location, right moment, right assets, right people, and we've got the right strategy. We are going to flog this little pony until sparks fly from its hooves. Thank you.